Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB, super pumped. It is May 1st. I am ready to go. It is like a rocket ship blast off. We have got so much planned for you, so many things going on. It is so exciting. The life that is getting ready to happen. And I want you to feel that energy because that's what it's about, right? So what we're doing this week is we're talking about relationships, but even more than relationships, we're going to talk about people and why it's so important. We're studying ILD month. We're doing ILD lifestyle this month, ILD professional expert month. I've got a book that is going to blow you away for those of you that are professional experts. If you're not, that's okay. You can still hang in there and read it because as you gain expertise, I'm telling you, it is such a great lifestyle, okay? So we've got just this huge week planned, and there's other stuff going on. So we have our intake form. It's working. A lot of people are sending them in. Thank you. You're getting on the follow-up list. We're getting all that worked out. So when you put your forms together, we get that information. We help you with your plan. Also, last week we did a soft launch of Evening Coach. So Evening Coach, eveningcoach.com, which is like Morning Coach, the bookend. Thanks, Chris, for that. He got us that URL, told us to get that URL. But basically, that is a little soft launch, and that's where I'm doing sleep stories and meditations and things that help me sleep. And it's not episodic, meaning you don't have to come every day and listen, but you can go in your library and you can grab a sleep story when you want to sleep. And I did it as a podcast, so you can subscribe to it, put it on your phone, and if you're having trouble sleeping, you can go in there and grab something and it'll help you sleep. Super pumped, and I'm going to be doing a couple other shows on the Evening Coach also with that. So just so much going on. I mean, I'm just so excited, and really the focus has been on caring, like shifting from really this, large group, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but to really focused on us, right? Making life better for all of us and building these systems that you can plug into that will help you in all areas, whether it's getting up in the morning with this, right? And now even plugging in into the evening and then getting the intake to us so that we can create the follow-up and the live coaching and all the stuff we're doing. Just exciting times. So this week, what did I say we're doing? We're getting into the joy of great relationships. We're going to talk about that today. I'm getting ready to launch the ILD lifestyle track this month. And then we're rocking. Tomorrow, we got our book study. The book we're going to be using, and you can find it up in the Compass, Secret Tradecraft of Elite Advisors, Convert Techniques for a Remarkable Practice. We're going to do a couple chapters tomorrow. What a great book. I was going to use this for June, but it's so good, I'd like to get you ahead of the game. So we're going to do it this month. Wednesday, we've got ILD Principles. It's about the people. Obviously, we're starting that with relationships. Thursday, we're going to talk about segmenting people. I've got that question. What do we do? How do we do that? I want to organize that a little bit. Friday, we're going to talk about family and people and dealing with money issues. I get a lot of questions on that. We're going to go over that Friday. Saturday, we've got systems to deal with relationships, obviously our CRM, those type of things. And then Sunday, we've got building a more positive spiritual relationship. So what a great week. I mean, it is really about the people. And that's one thing that I'm learning as I get older. It used to be about the numbers, and now it's about the people and really connecting with people is what I want. And really understanding these deeper ILD principles and living it really can make a difference in your life. And one of the base ILD principles is building solid relationships with, as Sir taught me those years ago, with the propellers. Remember this, how he taught us that, there's drainers, there's maintainers, and there's propellers. And you want to build a life around those people that are propelling you forward. And as I've been coaching and getting more involved with professional athletes and people that are successful in their careers, and again, that's a loaded term. I mean, a lot of superheroes don't wear costumes, right? So you're a successful person in my eyes. And success is about finding peace and about finding where you're at, reaching your potential. And, as I get around more people like that, doing this 18 years, being acknowledged in the industry, starting to really be seen as a coach and a leader by bigger organizations and obviously professional organizations, because I've been at this a long time. We're coming up on episode 5,000 and we've got massive press releases going out and a lot of press. It's really cool. It's a great time. And because of you, I can do that. But it's really the ILD lifestyle. It's the ILD principles of, keeping your finances low, building that residual income, having choices and having freedom so that you can start to build with people. So for for a while, I was working with Nicole and Brand True North and her branding, and she, we came up with this idea of certainty, that Morning Coach really helps people with certainty. She's amazing, by the way. And as I was doing this, and we're building the 5.0 launch, and we're putting things together, there was something missing from that big piece of everything that I was doing. And that's why caring came in. And why would we want to talk about caring? Why is this something that I keep talking about so much? Because, like I said, it's about the people. It's about people. And when you start to understand that, when you start to build things around people, it really works well. And in order to do that, you have to move away from the anger and the frustration to more love. And that's been a big challenge for me, especially coming out of COVID and all the changes and, all the politicizing of every issue that's out there. It's been a real frustrating time for me. And I think I've mentioned that where I was getting like angry and building my business around anger, where now it's building the business around caring. And if you know the history of Morning Coach, just to share, we started off in 2005, 2006, started doing the podcast. We put 40,000 people on a website back then. I think it was the first membership site on the internet. Literally. It's pretty crazy to think about that. And in 2009, I went from free to paid. That's when we said, hey, I need to make money. I wasn't making any money. There were no sponsors back then. I mean, if there were sponsors and stuff, I would have never had to go this direction. But again, everything happens for a reason, right? But back then, nobody even knew what a podcast was. I had to teach people that. But when we did that, 1,231 people came with us. Right? So we had this big group of people come, and that was huge. I mean, that was a lot of people. And back then, what's crazy is I thought it was a small amount. I really thought it was a small amount. By the way, I misphrased that. We had 40,000 people listening daily to the Coach Cast. We had 12,000 people on a membership site. I want to clarify those numbers. Really important, because 10% came with. That's how I know that. And 10% of those people were 12. I'll never forget, 1,231 the day we launched. And and what happened was with that, over those years from 2009, till 2019, 2020, right, 2021, that 10, 11, 12-year-old period, we had a lot of people that were with us. And so for me, the focus was not so much on the people. The focus was really on numbers. Because when you have that many people, it's like, well, we just keep growing, and how do we build systems that can handle those people instead of really focusing on the people. Right. And I did a little bit. We built masterminds and stuff, but it was interesting because it was more, I was getting led more by internet marketers than by coaching, and really putting my coaching hat on and going, okay, how do I serve? How do I create value? The things that I know what to do. Right. I was listening to too many other coaches instead of listening to my own advice. And that's part of the issue. I think the reason Morning Coach has been successful, and now we're launching Evening Coach, again, thanks, Chris, is because I'm real. I mean, there is no agenda here. I mean, we're trying to build this to support people. Obviously, it's a business, so I have to build it. I have mentioned earlier this year that I wanted to get into an airplane. In order to do that, we got to bring a couple hundred people in. So I do have to focus on the business side of it, but the business side of it, I'm letting take care of itself. As you could tell, as we're building the intake forms and, we're putting the new systems together and the new monthly lessons. By the way, May 22nd is our next live meeting, if you can put it on your calendar. By putting these things together, putting ILD together, creating one membership instead of having multiple things going on and launching ILD and all these other things, trying to focus in and really make this work in a simplified system where anybody can connect, right? So in the morning, you can connect here, you get the energy, and then when you have time, you work on your plan, your planner, and you work on those things, and we can care about you because we have the ability now that you can sit down and put some stuff in the intake, and we can look at it and say, okay, this is the kind of the follow-up we need. And we can make sure that's getting done. Then we've got now some evening stuff. So if I can't get to sleep, let me go to Evening Coach and plug into JB and listen to one of the sleep stories and see if this helps me fall asleep. Right? And then you get up and get going, and we've got this complete system here. And I'm continually bringing more education with the ILD lifestyle and the ILD personal expert, which is something I really love because there's a lot of you that are working on that side of it that can provide you a lot of revenue. Like I said, the book we're doing this month is just awesome. It's really great as far as understanding the value that you can bring to the marketplace as an expert. And we're all experts. That's the thing that I want you to get to understand, that everybody's an expert. It just takes time to figure out how to figure out the market and what you're going to make money as. And again, you can be an expert at your job, and you can be an expert in corporate, and you can grow and grow and grow with that. And that's an important part. John is doing that over in Japan. He keeps he kept focused on these ideas, and he keeps growing. He keeps growing in his career. And that's cool too. That's an expert, right? So it doesn't just have to be entrepreneurial. It doesn't have to be a consultant, even though the book we're reading is really about consulting. We could take those things and apply them to our careers. You can apply them to a job. You can apply them in anything because it's all about value. And again, it comes back down to this ILD concept of knowledge, lifestyle, and education, and then building relationships with people. And how do you build relationships with people? Well, the idea is what you want to do is learn about different things. You want to get knowledge in different areas. And as you get knowledge in different areas, you can connect with other people. And as you connect with those people, you can speak their language. And you've heard me talk about that before, about speaking the language of different things like golf, knowing a birdie, an eagle, give me a pitching wedge. I need a 56 wedge. I need to hit the bounce. Those are you're going to have to talk that language with somebody that understands it. Guitar. Hey, what's the F chord? What's an F sharp? How do I play that song? What's tablature? Everything has its kind of own language. And when you click that language and you can talk that language with other people, all of a sudden the light bulb goes on. It's like, oh, wow, remarkable too. Oh, I understand what that is. That's an e-ink device. Some people don't have no clue what an e-ink device is. They don't know what a stylus is, right? Nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about making connections with other people. And then what happens is you make connections with other people, you start to understand problems that you can solve, ways that you can help others. And as you'll see in this book, as we get into the book and read a little bit more, in the same way I live, is you give away a lot. You give away a lot, you help a lot. And then the people that get it will come on and they'll be high fee. They want to work with you because they know you have the answers, because you're out there, you're putting yourself out there, you're explaining things, you're putting good energy out there, and people want to be a part of that. And as you do that, that's how you connect. That's why we put the planner out there so people could see that. We do Monday morning coach. We put a few things. We're going to put a few things on evening coach so people can kind of get a feel for what we're doing, and then they can come in and be a part of this, right? And that's awesome. So you got to believe in yourself, and you got to be able to get over the fear of putting yourself out there. That's another thing that really hinders your ability to connect and to build real solid relationships. As you focus on this, it's about the people. It's about the lifestyle. It's about the time. And like I said, when you understand that, you can start to separate and move people into areas that you want to. Sometimes you got to disconnect from some people. It's okay. As I work on myself, and I've mentioned this a lot, obviously drinking, I keep myself and avoid those situations where I'm going to get into an environment that I have to drink, like a bar. There's absolutely no reason for me to go there. I can go there now. I'm pretty good. Like I can go and hang out, and it's not a problem. But why? And again, it's all about serving me. What is going to work to help me serve more people and create more value? And who do I need to let go of in my life? And it's okay to let go of some people. Now, family's a little different. You've always heard you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. So sometimes you just got to keep them at arm's length. But you can build and you can grow and you can do things. Now, we're going to get into this Friday. What happens when you start dealing with money and making more money? I get it. It gets challenging. Believe me, I'm back here in Indiana, and it's one of the most difficult things I deal with. Most people don't know what I do. I had an old friend that actually works in a utility company, was really angry at me one day and said, you don't understand people like us. You don't understand. I was like, well, he was pretty drunk. I'm like, no, I love you. There's nothing different about you or me. I just found a different way to do things. I live an ILD life, right? But it's a weird dynamic when you start bringing money and lifestyle in and other people don't have it. And specifically like me, I have to show it. I mean, that's what I coach. I coach lifestyle, so I let people into my life. I got a retreat center that I've built here. I bring people in from out of town. In fact, this month, in a couple of weeks, we've got another retreat coming up. So it's a challenge sometimes, and we'll talk about how you deal with that as you reach higher levels of success, because ultimately that's our goal, right? We want to focus on you and the things that you're doing so you reach higher levels of success. And being that independent person, that ILD person, can be challenging in the world that we live in today. But this is such a great week. And I know, you might have been here a long time and you just want the Coach Cast. It's totally cool, but I am building frameworks, building structure and systems that allow people to live their best life. That's what it's about, certainty and caring. And I'm having a blast doing it, and I'm glad you're along for the ride because it's going to be a fun one. And as we do this, it's just you can participate at whatever level you want to, but let's keep the energy going and let's keep focused on creating more value in the world so that we can live a more valued life and we can get that freedom back. And really critical, this is very important, to have the choices to do what you want. You want to put some work into something, then do it. Have choices to do what you want to do. Okay, so let's get out there, have a fantastic day. If you get a chance, go in your library, check out Evening Coach, some sleep stories, and I'll be adding to that. Again, that's not episodic, so it doesn't mean you have to listen, every day. That's not what it's about. It's like, okay, I like that sleep story. I'll come back to that in a couple of weeks and listen to that again. Or that meditation was really good. I'm going to come back and listen to that again. And that way you've got an evening thing that you can plug into when you need to. Okay? So let's go do it to it. And by the way, I need that. So I'm doing it for me too, by the way. So get out there, have a great day. Let's put some energy out there. And I'll be back with more tomorrow. Got any issues? info@morningcoach.com. As always, let's keep it going. Let's keep it positive. You got any friends that want to join Morning Coach? Right now, we're not open. Just have them get us their email so that we can, when we get the next class ready and we open it up, they'll be able to get in there. You can send an email to info@morningcoach.com or just send them to morningcoach.com. There is a closed email list right on the cover there. Okay, so let's go do it to it. I love you. Go have a fantastic day, and I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to announce the new book study. Make sure you're here. It's going to be